Hello everyone, welcome. Today I'm going to be rating 7 of the hottest, most hyped up new blush releases. In the past month alone, I feel like so many brands have launched new blushes. Powder blushes, cream blushes, gel-like blushes, liquid blush, you name the formula, it's out there. And in this video. And the main reason why I decided to do this video is because, well, I want to be helpful. I don't think you want to go and buy one of each formula. Do you? Maybe you do, I don't know. I personally am a blushaholic, but I also make videos for a living. So as much as I do love blush, I don't think I would be out here purchasing as many as I do if I weren't a beauty content creator. So this video is to help you decide which new blush formula may be right for you. And I've based my scores on 5 different criteria. And that criteria includes shade range, pigmentation, glow, longevity, and price point. So each blush could get a total of 25 points because all of my ratings were out of 5. So for example, you'll see on the graphics a 3 out of 5 for pigmentation or a 4.5 out of 5 for longevity. When it came to price point, I gave that a score based on the dollar amount per ounce. Most of these blushes are 0.12 ounces or 0.14 ounces. So what I did was calculate the dollar amount per ounce. And the ones that came out with a very, very high cost per ounce, especially in comparison to the other ones in this video, they got less points out of 5 for price point. In at number 7, with 17 total points out of 25, is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Liquid Blush. And while this blush is nice, it just doesn't blow me away. And here are the scores that I gave it. This blush only comes in 5 shades, so it lost points for shade range. Pigmentation is fine, but not great. I'm a blush girl. I like to see my blush. So if you like something more sheer, the pigmentation might be fine with you. I just wasn't wowed by it. And by the way, this is very important to note, especially if you're new to my channel, you would not be aware of this, but I have oily skin. And where that really comes into play is when I get to longevity, because oily skins have a tendency to kind of eat through blush more so than other skin types. So if I give a blush a good longevity score, that means that it has some really good longevity to it. With the Armani, I only gave it a 3.5 out of 5 for longevity because I just didn't feel like the color lasted throughout the day. And I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 for price point, although it did not come in at one of the highest price per ounce. The highest price per ounce in this video is $200, and the lowest price per ounce is $53. Armani falls kind of right in the middle at around $97 per ounce. In at number 6 with 18 out of 25 points is the Buxom Plump Shot Collagen Peptide Blush. The shade I'm using in this demo is Cheeky Dolly. Once again, being that there are only 5 shades, I gave the shade range a 3 out of 5, but the pigmentation on this blush is phenomenal. I actually went a little bit too heavy-handed at first with my application. I kind of had to buff it out. So this gets a 5 out of 5 for pigmentation. The longevity also gets a 5 out of 5. It stayed on my skin for like 10 hours. It gives a little bit of a glow, but where this lost the most points was the price point. This Buxom blush comes in at my highest cost per ounce of $200. This is a lot per ounce. But overall, if that is not a concern for you, if the price per ounce or the price at all is no concern of yours, then I would 1000% recommend this blush because overall, it hits all of my marks. I love, love, love this. But this rating or ranking is really just about the numbers. And for you to take those numbers and decide for yourself which ones you actually care about and which ones you don't. And at number 5, with 19.5 points out of 25, is the new Lawless Pinch My Cheeks Soft Blur Cream Blush. I am so bummed because Lawless, about a month ago, sent me a PR package. Well, they attempted to send me a PR package with all of the new blushes, but UPS lost the package. I contacted UPS and I said, hey, do you think I'll ever get my package? And they said, no, it's lost. Whoever sent it can file a claim. So long story short, I did reach out to Lawless asking if they could send me a new PR package, but I never heard from them, so I just went out and bought one on my own. This one only comes in 6 shades, and unfortunately, the last time I checked, most of them were sold out. The pigmentation is excellent, the longevity is excellent, the glow is just beautiful. So if you're looking for a blush that has a lot of glow, that looks just really healthy and almost skin-like, and yes, this does help to blur fine lines and texture, it really is a beautiful blush. So where it lost points for me was with the shade range, and then also, again, the price point. This is $161 per ounce. At number 4, with 20 out of 25 points, is the Haus Labs Glassy Blush. This blush comes in 8 shades, so I gave it a point more than the others that only had 5 shades. I think that 8 shades is an okay amount. 10 to 12 would probably be better, more ideal, but that's just because when I think of really extensive blush ranges, I think of NARS and MAC and Patrick Ta. They just have so many shades within their range. They've got every skin tone covered. And while I can always go to any shade range of blush and find at least 2 or 3 that will work for my skin tone, I often don't feel like very fair skins or dark skins can say the same thing. So yeah, I think 5 shades is kind of pitiful. 8, okay. 10 to 12, probably more ideal. And you have a better chance of encompassing all skin tones. But this Haus Labs Blush Balm gets 5 stars from me for pigmentation. It gives your cheeks sort of a glassy look. I'm also giving it a 5 out of 5 for longevity. But again, it lost points for being the second highest price point, cost per ounce, at $188 per ounce. So just slightly under the buxom. The number 3 spot goes to Kosas. I'm giving their new Blush is Life formula 20.5 points out of 25. With 8 shades in the range, it's decent, but not fabulous. It gets a lot of points for longevity and pigmentation. The glow of these blushes is absolutely beautiful. I don't find that they emphasize texture, which sometimes does happen in my experience with baked blushes. But once again, I did have to take off a couple of points for the high cost per ounce of this product. It comes in at around $181 per ounce. And at number 2, with 21.5 points out of 25, is the NYX Buttermelt Blush. This blush gets high marks for shade range, pigmentation, longevity, and price point. Where it lost a couple points was on the glow factor, but the glow that you get from this blush depends on what shade you buy. It's called Butter with Time. So the glow rating was a little bit hard to determine because, once again, it does depend on what shade you use. So I just gave it a 3 out of 5. This comes in 12 shades. This is the most pigmented blush of all of the blushes in this video. And then I gave it a 4 out of 5 for price point because it is only $10 and it comes in at $58 per ounce. And edging out the NYX Buttermelt Blush by just a half a point is the Morphe Euphoric Rush 3-in-1 Silk Blush. I love this blush so much, I already went and purchased it in another color. If you have mature skin and you love a long-wearing cream blush, please check this out. I only had to take off a couple of points for the shade range because there are only 6 shades, but this gets high ratings for everything else. Longevity, pigmentation, glow, and price point. This comes in at the lowest price per ounce of all of the blushes on my list at $53 per ounce. Now, I'm no mathematician. I've always been really, really bad at math. So if my numbers are off, if anybody feels so inclined to double check my numbers, you can go ahead and do that. But what's done is done. Hopefully I calculated correctly. I am very, very right-brained. I'm left-handed. I'm right-brained. I'm very creative. I'm very emotional. If you want to talk to me about science and math, then no, I'm just not the person to talk to about any of those things. So again, if any of my numbers are off or if I've said anything incorrect when it comes to numbers, I apologize, and all I can say is I did my best. That said, I do hope you enjoyed this very unscientific ranking of the hottest new blush releases. Let me know in the comments which ones you've tried, which ones you plan to try, what you think of the ones you have tried already. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, I would love it if you gave the video a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. I would also love it if you would subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I do post new videos at least twice per week. You can also find more content from me over on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. My username is the same on every platform. It's Risa Does Makeup. As usual, I will have all of the products linked down below in the description box as well as through YouTube shopping. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.